Well, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, and good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another episode of The Morning Glow. Welcome to another episode of The Morning Glow. How's everybody doing this morning? Hope you all are having a fantastic, absolutely amazing, scrupulous, and all that good stuff. Hope we had a great weekend. Leonard, cut it out, Leonard. I see you over there, Leonard. I can see you, but listen. But I hope everything is well, man. I hope you had a great weekend. Good morning, Anna. Ladies, always first, good morning, Leonard. How you doing? How are you doing? And I'm going to say it again. How you
doing? I'm good. Social distancing still. I'm doing real good.
I guarantee you we're more than 6 feet apart. I guarantee you. Leonard, good morning, Leonard. How you doing,
sir? How you doing? Always a social distancer.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That's right.
I was looking at the news while I was getting dressed this morning, and the malls are opening back up today.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, all the malls opening back up today. What do y'all think about that? Is it too soon for the malls to open now?
Well, I think it's too soon. I think it's too soon, period. I don't think it was done appropriately at all, man. I mean, this is not how you manage a pandemic.
Exactly.
So we'll see. I mean, I've seen some numbers about the disease. I've seen some things reoccurring overseas as well. And I can't see where we've made so much progress. I think we've just stopped caring.
Yeah.
Really.
And I think that's a big part of it too, man. We really, it's becoming. And sad as it is, man, it's becoming a norm for us. It's a norm. And because of the fact that it's becoming a norm and we're jeopardizing and sacrificing each other to a very high level. Anna, what do you say to that?
I think part of it is finances. I think, there's no money and they have to open up places, which I think is ridiculous. I will not stop wearing my gloves out of the house. I will not stop wearing a mask. I don't care, what anybody thinks, because at the end of the day is my family and my life. And, if people want to go to the mall and want to be in these small enclosed areas and be all close together, I put up a few pictures. One was at the Varsity. It was jam-packed this weekend. I mean, and, we all know the Varsity out there in Midtown.
Yeah.
It's, famous for its hot dogs and, it's an atmosphere place. And we're all familiar with Jordans and people were lined up. It's just a matter of responsibility. If I heard that the numbers went up to 1,000 something this weekend, I'm going to continue caring for myself. And I hope that you guys, which I know you guys probably will, have the same responsibility to care for yourself, and not only yourself, caring up for others to not even contaminate them or put them in that situation,
Exactly. Leonard, looking at this whole situation, and this just came to me a few minutes ago, and I don't know why I put these things together. I think a little weird sometimes. Cut it out, Leonard. But it is almost like I think of that movie, the Living Dead, where people are walking around and they snatch at each other, and then this pandemic, man, it's gonna have people, man, sacrificing each other to a very high level, sacrificing each other, man, because and I don't know if I want to say because they don't care, but what other terminology can I use?
There is none. I mean, there were, it's different because I've gotten more cynical about it. and it's just an exercise, I think, in humanity. But there are some people who just could care less.
Yeah.
And but the thing about it, most people are shocked, but the same people that are doing what they're doing now were the same people that were causing us issues before.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
They're the same people. They just behaving according to how they are.
Mm-hmm.
They did not care before the pandemic about lots of things.
Mm-hmm.
Like one, think about it. When was the last time you heard somebody talk about human trafficking? That's been real.
Yeah. Yeah.
Look at the devastation in Puerto Rico.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
They just had another earthquake.
No one cares.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just like, and we've seen the American government completely not care.
Absolutely.
So, it seems like it's all coming together the way it is because of the corruption, the greed, the people not focusing on what is important. And now got to the point where yes, I was always trying to be safe like that. I was used to wearing a mask because of pollen and things like that. My life didn't change as much. I'm just so glad that I don't have to go outside my house to get any money.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So we have to understand that there are I understand the people doing it out of necessity. But think about it. Some of the people, the guys and folks that work at Walmart, they've been there the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of them, I remember when they didn't even have masks. Now you notice they're putting on more masks and we're wiping things down. They put shields up, I believe, at the counter, at the registers.
Mm-hmm.
But you still see the lackadaisical attitude of not even wearing masks. Mm-hmm. There were people just sitting out at places eating outside. There, like you said, I mean, I haven't eaten out in almost 2 months.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't always go out to eat a lot anyway. So I've been able to adjust, but I don't understand what it is about some people that they're just partying.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've seen people at house parties. As a matter of fact, I have a cousin whose mom is so frustrated with him because he doesn't take precaution.
Mm-hmm.
So it's I don't know, one of the things we should talk about as well is when you have those young family members in your house.
Yes.
It's like it's frustrating to have a 20-year-old son in my house.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, I have to explain to him that there are rules.
Mm-hmm.
We have a person with an impaired immune system.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
So we have to take extra caution. And at the end of the day, no one cares about your mother getting sick.
Yes.
While you're out there doing what they're maybe not worried about. Their mother's probably just fine.
Mm-hmm.
But your mother has an issue.
Mm-hmm.
So you should be more concerned about your mother's issue.
Exactly. Good morning, Christy. How you doing this morning?
Hey, Christy.
I can't hear you.
She on mute.
Unmute your line.
Okay, my bad.
You just talking away.
I haven't had my coffee this morning. I ain't had no coffee this morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
When you don't have morning. I ain't had my coffee this morning.
There you go.
I don't know what y'all gonna get today.
Okay, we're talking about we're talking right now. We're talking about the people not caring, going out and just sacrificing.
Oh my God.
This is not our topic. This is not our topic. We just talking about this, to get everything started this morning. What do you think about that, man? People just going around and not having a care about themselves or the people that's around them.
Man, I took my daughter to work yesterday, and I know I passed by 4 or 5 get-togethers. No mask on. These people hugged up, loved up, drinking, crawfish boiling, barbecuing, not even caring. I mean, I saw a pic where the new Jordans came out.
Mm-hmm.
The line was longer than Jurassic Park. And then you wonder why the numbers are keep climbing. And I just resorted back because if action is the result of leadership. And if our leaders think that this is imaginary, if our leaders think that this is something that'll go away eventually, or if our leaders saying that, okay, this is not really that big deal, which is a media ploy to get us to think that because they don't want us to go into hysteria. But and we don't and we listen to that, then this is what's going to be a result. You're going to have a group of people who don't care, who think it's okay to walk around with their mask. I know for a fact that it's a young lady that I know for a fact her daughter had the coronavirus. I know 100%. No, I know. And then her family was in Walmart walking around without a mask, touching everything.
Mm.
So to me, it's several instances like this. And I look at people like, what are you thinking?
Mhm.
And why? Why not quarantine? If
Mm.
you got a positive result, self-quarantine.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. I don't want it. I
Mm.
want to breathe. I like breathing. I like breathing right now. I love it.
It can't. I'm gonna tell you something. Okay? And your volume is kind of choppy this morning. You might need to go out and come back in. But let me tell you something about breathing. Though it kind of assists me a lot in this living thing.
Right.
Yeah, it kind of helped me. Breathing kind of helped me with living.
Yeah, it does.
I love it.
It's a fact.
Watch this.
I love it too.
See, look at that. Yeah, I love breathing. But Christy, go out and come back in. Make sure that I call your sound is just a little choppy. We want to make sure everybody can hear everything that you're saying. Anna, what's on your heart?
I just think it's totally irresponsible,
Mhm.
and I think it's selfish, and I think you just should care enough, especially Leonard made a great point with the young crowd. I don't care. Look, I don't know how it is in everybody's house, but in a Latina house, I don't care how old you are. The rules are the rules.
Yeah.
And if I tell you you're not going out, you just go get your own place if you want to do your own rules. My kids know better. I'm not with it.
Mhm.
You're going to be responsible and you're going to care for other people's lives the same way that you would want somebody caring for your mom and whoever else in your family. You don't do that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So call me loca. But it ain't happening here. I don't care. And, my child my teenager hasn't been invited to activities. And I said, absolutely not. You're endangering people's lives and your own life. It's a no. They were upset. Oh, it's party time because we don't have school. Yeah, whatever. You're going to sit right at home and quarantine just like the rest of us. So that's that. Mm-hmm. No argument. This isn't even a debate. It's like, no, and that's it.
That's it. Ain't no in between. No middle ground.
There's no debate. No is no.
Absolutely. Leonard, what's on your heart, brother? Then we're gonna jump into this topic that we got today. We got quite a few people that's coming in. Want to make sure that we jump into this topic. What's on your heart right now, Leonard?
Like I said, I'm becoming a lot more cynical about the whole matter. And like you say, a lot of people aren't interested unless it happens to them.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess, it's strange how we'll see it happen. But to me, there is something else going on.
Yes.
And I think that's a lot more important.
Mm-hmm.
For the very simple fact, like every 7 days of exposure, if you don't catch a fever, you're usually okay.
Mm-hmm.
But we don't really know the parameters of the virus.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know if it's the virus that gets in you and takes a minute before it makes you react, or what is exposure. I'm not even comfortable with the test.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm not interested in the vaccine talk.
No,
and I'm definitely tired of the race talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Because it doesn't make sense. Every time someone comes up with something that seems like a great conspiracy, it doesn't fit. It doesn't fit the story, because we do know that if this disease was only affecting blacks, nothing would have shut down.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing would have stopped.
Good point.
Black people just would have continued dying like they have been.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good point.
So now everybody's 80-some% of the people are black. You didn't care before. Why do you care now?
Hey, Drew.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I've been talking about this for years.
Yeah.
Now all of a sudden these numbers just pop up of all these black people supposedly in the hospital in Georgia with COVID, and then the other stories say they're being turned away from the hospital.
Somebody said they went to the hospital. They rolled by the hospital the other day, and for whatever reason, and they said the hospital was pretty much empty. So all the people are seeing that's in the hospital, they're really not there.
Right. Testing sites are separate from hospitals.
Yeah, absolutely. Have to be. But listen, let's get into this topic we're talking about today, man. Everybody have a different viewpoint. Everybody have a different idea of what this is. But I'm gonna ask the question, man, because it affects a lot of people, and sometimes even as a child, it affects you as a child. And growing up, you carry this with you, where a little pretty little child get more attention, and they get more treats, they get more accolades or whatever, whether quote unquote, and this is just me talking. I don't think no child is ugly. I just don't. I just don't. They may not look like that child, but I don't think they're ugly. What is beauty? What is beauty, and why do we put so much emphasis on the beauty of an individual? And what is beauty?
So if you guys wouldn't mind, I want to read one of the definitions that I found. And you guys we can start the conversation from there, if that's okay.
Go ahead.
So beauty, it's a combination of qualities such as shape, color, or form that pleases the aesthetic senses, especially the sight. Example, I was struck by her beauty. A beautiful woman, so forth, so on. You said baby. To me, see, I'm a little bit different. It's who you are inside that just makes you the most beautifulest person. You can look like beauty, and then be the beast who's just a beautiful person inside. You see, I don't care about the outside. I've never have. And this is the truth, when I've dated, I've never looked at the outside. I looked at the way that you came at me, as a whole. I don't look at any of that. I could care less about any of that. It's who you are, if that makes sense.
It does.
So that's me. I don't know about the rest of you guys. Some people are like, oh, she gotta, or he gotta have this, that, or I look at this. I've never been, my mom used to criticize me for that. She'd be like, are you looking? Looking? I'd be like, I don't see that. Like, I look at other stuff. I've never cared, so that's just my take on it. And for me, like, one thing that I've always liked is a big dude. For me, that's like my teddy bear, so that's just me. But like I said, but that's just a taste. It's not necessarily beauty to me. It's just the taste, something I like. So that's just my opinion.
Good deal. We got a call. We'll go to the call in just 1 second. Christy, what's on your beauty?
Oh, sorry.
That's a twofold question right here. You always ask these twofold questions. The correct answer is always beauty is on, is based on what's on the inside of you. But growing up as a BBW, I can tell you have to have that on the inside of you. And if you don't know what a BBW is, that's a beautiful, big black woman. And so I the TV and the magazines and America tells you beauty is a size 6, long blonde hair, blue or gray eyes, different physique. That's their definition of beauty. But I go against all that because I'm beautiful just being big, black, and beautiful with brown hair. Or
I know that's
hair,
right, girl.
Or yellow hair or orange hair or whatever color hair that I choose to have at the time. Wow. And I just want to comment right here. I done seen some ugly babies. I don't know what you. I mean, they are hurt, but it's the truth. I done seen some boogers, but I'm like, my grandma used to always say, I can always tell my grandma is a baby's ugly because when she look at a baby, she say, "Oh, he is so special," or "Oh my gosh, that's the thing there." She'll never comment, but it was a cute baby. She was like, "Oh my God, that's such a cute little baby." So I always knew when she felt like the baby wasn't cute because of the words she used. She never downed them or nothing, but it's that she never did say it was cute.
Look at that.
I don't know.
Look at that baby. That's such That's such a pretty little beret the baby got on. Yes, it is. That's a
Right, right.
baby got on.
But I think America put a lot on physical beauty. And I
Yes.
feel like in our magazine, that's why we have such a high rate of suicide, anorexia, bulimia. We have all these diseases because we put so much emphasis on beauty. But if we go back in history, beauty was never skinny. In actuality, women that were skinny or a certain size were considered thick and they was considered ugly. But big, beautiful, if you look at all the queens, Queen Elizabeth and all those queens and stuff, they were big women because at that time, big women was beautiful. But things turned, as things always do, where the more skinnier person became beauty. So beauty is up, well, like my grandma says, in the eye of the beholder. One man garbage is going to be somebody else's gold. So
that's good.
I always look at what's on the inside of someone's heart because on the inside makes you beautiful to me.
Good deal.
But you have to be attracted to one first.
All right, preacher. All right, preacher. Leonard, what do you say to that, Leonard? What is beauty?
To me, it's just whatever it is you think is beautiful is beautiful. It's not what Raheem thinks. It's what I think.
Through your eyes.
Yeah, and I don't have to, people say, I don't even feel like I have to explain. It's like it's just not beautiful to me. It may be beautiful to you, but it just may not be beautiful to me. I happen to I love art and stuff like that. I think one of the things I did, I was on Facebook and, I just seen this picture of birds. Like I like beautiful birds and animals and stuff. I watch a lot of nature and I share those pictures because I think those things are beautiful. It's not all this value judgment to me. It's just, if I say it's beautiful, it's beautiful. I don't really care what you think.
Leonard, I'm gonna tell you something because you love nature like I love nature, and I think that some of the most beautiful things that I've seen is God's creation, man, and the lands feel and all the stuff He's created. Some of the views that you can see when you're traveling around the world, some of those things are just absolutely amazing to me. And you can't equate that to the beauty of an individual because this is something. To me, it's at a totally different level. Let me do this. We got a couple of calls on the line. We got a call from the 678 area code 678. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hi, this is Apostle Drew. God bless you all.
Hey, sir. Good morning. How you doing this morning? God bless you, sir.
Good morning on this blessed Monday.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We're asking the question, Apostle. We're asking the question, what is beauty? What is beauty? And what to the Apostle, what is beauty?
Well, it's like you all have been hitting the nail on the head, beauty is an expression of your inner self. And as some have said, it could be, a piece of art that someone painted or whatever. And you walk up and say, oh, that's beautiful.
Yes.
It could be a song that someone played from their inner soul, and you say, oh, that's a beautiful song. Or, now get ready for this one, it could be the expression of the Lord, and you say, oh, that was a beautiful anointing, or a beautiful healing, or, so to me, beauty comes from within.
That's good. That's good. And that's so very true. It really does. But a lot of times we don't take the time or the opportunity that we really should appreciate the beauty that we see. We just kind of waver over it and continue with what we're doing and not acknowledging it at all. 614 area code. 614 area code. What's your name? Where you calling from?
John Drummond from the state of Ohio.
John
City. How y'all doing this morning?
Hi, John.
What's up, Mr. Drummond?
We're asking the question, brother, what is beauty? What is beauty?
My answer to that is beauty is an attraction. It's whatever you're attracted to. Like the pastor said just a minute ago, it could be a song, but that song touches you in a place that no other thing has ever touched you before in that same spot. You can be at an event, and you and your brother, your friend, y'all could be watching a group of lovely women and be attracted to two different types of women entirely. It's a personal thing. I do recall Leonard saying that it's a personal thing. back when I was a young, unexperienced man, I was a selfish young man.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I applied beauty to a certain, list of things. If a woman wasn't this, or if a thing wasn't that, then it wasn't beauty. As I've gotten older, I've learned to understand, no, man, it's wherever it takes you to a good place, to a loving place, to a place where you feel good. That's beauty. It's an attraction.
Now, and let me ask you this question: if and we're gonna take it back to the person, to the individual. If an individual has a certain look, are they given certain passes in life other than somebody that does not have that quote unquote look?
Well, I think looks are that level of shallowness that I talked about when I was a young person. That's a shallow attraction. In other words, if you can rub it off or take it off, it might not be the beauty that you thought it was.
Mm-hmm.
And even if it's born beauty, you know what I'm saying? It's your definition of beauty. If that's all you're searching for or looking for, then you might want to ask yourself, is that all I need in order to define what I think beauty is? It's just how good someone looks. That's all it takes. I don't need to know this person's mind. I don't need to know, how good this person takes care of their estate, takes care of other people. Do they have a warm heart? I mean, you have to think a lot deeper than the surface.
Absolutely. Anna, what do you say to that?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so I mentioned to you and Leonard before that, I had a career working in the dental field. The dental field is very superficial. So that dentist already knows, or doctor or whatever, what they're looking for before you even go in for an interview, right? So a lot of them will, with certain thoughts in their mind, will hire a certain look, and it's not only for that office and their needs or what they're looking for, it's for their own needs, if that makes sense. I wasn't one to get a job because of that, so that's not worth it. But it is the truth that careers like that, and maybe Christy, I'm not sure how it is in her work field, but in the dental field, it is very superficial. And they're looking for a certain look. So in other words, say a girl that's 110 pounds, 5'10", doesn't have to be the most beautifulest girl, doesn't have to have perfect teeth, right? But that's what that dentist likes. I go in for an interview, I'm automatically X'd out because he doesn't want somebody who's 5'4", whatever weight, 130 whatever pounds. He's looking for that 5'10", if that makes sense. So a lot of people are superficial out there. A lot of the world, I don't believe it so much in the church, but I do believe out in the world that there is. If you look at even the way, say I go in for an interview and I'm dressed appropriately with my blazer, black pants or whatever. You got a woman that goes in with her skirt showing her curves or whatever. She may get the job because that's what that man is looking for. See what I'm saying? And it's something good for Leonard to answer too, because I know this is what Leonard did in his corporate world, but I can at least speak for the field that I worked in. I did both medical and dental, and I saw that a lot. And I wasn't going to lower my standards. I would go in with my blazer, my black pants, to make sure that doctor, that dentist knew I was professional. It wasn't going nowhere but to the professionalism, if that makes sense.
The professionalism, absolutely. Christy, what do you say to that? Then I'm coming to you next.
Y'all know I'm gonna tell y'all the truth, right?
Uh-oh.
Y'all want to know the truth?
Let's hear it.
Of course. My beauty gives me everything I want and love. No, seriously, but yes, beauty if you are a certain look, you can get away with mass. You can get away with murder. I mean, just look at the cases. If you're a white girl that looks nice and a certain demeanor, you can get away with anything. Um, do I think it's right? No. Um, do I feel that America does that? Yes, on several occasions. I mean, I've seen where we get a ticket, even getting a ticket. If it's a young man that comes to your vehicle and you're a nice looking person and you can flirt your way out of a ticket if you want to. Um, so I do believe that beauty does play a part on getting certain things like that job. Just like Anna was saying, if you have the curves and you have all this and you dress a certain way, then you probably get the job. In the medical field that I work at, I mean, here in Winfield, it's a small place, so everybody know everybody. For us, it's about who you know versus how you look. You can be a booger and get a job as long as your mom and dad have money and prestige. But I do know in certain places that it does matter. They want a certain physique. In doctor's office, they want you to look good because they want the people to come in and feel like they can get this type of treatment and they can look this way, or that's why the doctor wants you to use their products. If you're a dentist, they want you to use their dentist. Say, look at her teeth. Her teeth is straight and immaculate. She used our bleaching cream. She used our this. She used our that. So it's a marketing scheme as well, just like radio and TV. Gabby talks about it all the time. The lady that played Precious. You can talk to Monique, who was a big girl before she had her surgery. You can talk to Star before she had her surgery. It's a lot of Queen Latifah. There's so many people in the industry that could tell you how they weight. Was Missy Elliott talks about how her weight was a problem in her industry, and she had to choose between her weight and continuing to be successful. So, I'm gonna say weight plays a part. If you're an overweight person, you get called. I mean, I remember the first time I was going through my surgery, and they put obese on my paper. I was like, I ain't obese. I'm cute. What they talking about? I ain't obese.
Yeah, Leonard, what do you say to that? What's on your heart, Leonard?
It's such a like I say, it's a very subjective issue. I think women deal with it more than men.
Yeah.
Me personally, somebody, it's just too big of a deal to me.
Mm-hmm.
It really is, because it's very vain.
Do you think some men put that out there like that, where and do place women in that discriminative roles sometimes because of the fact that this girl, she's banging, she got better qualifications, but she don't have that look. Do you think we as men sometimes do that?
Well, I mean, I think it's our prerogative to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Just like it's a woman's prerogative to do it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have to. Yeah, I don't. You look like a fool sitting there mad because you're not pretty to me. That's stupid.
Mm-hmm.
You're stupid.
But would you tell him?
Yeah.
I mean,
it makes no sense. Because you have to think about it, there's so much more you may have to offer to me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, you pretty, but are you worth anything? What do you do? I mean, is that what you do? Just be pretty? Because I'm the type of person, if I know you're a person and you're just pretty, then go stand over there and just be pretty and do what you do.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's good.
I have one friend. I have one very good friend, and me and her used to go out a lot. We're good friends, right?
Mm-hmm.
And she is what most men would just love to be with. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
She's thin, long hair, loves to dance, part good, all that. And I used to always tell her, you're the type of pretty that I sit in the corner. Like something you put on the wall. But that's about as much as I'm into that.
Almost a trophy like.
Yeah, you're cute, but I mean, what do cute do? I mean, I don't.
Growing up, man, my uncle used to always tell me growing up, excuse me, boy, don't you never bring no beautiful food to this house.
Yeah, but I mean, it's not about being smart. It's just that I'm not so wrapped up into it. There are some women that look in the mirror and know how they're gonna pay their bills every day. I can't hate on her. There are dudes out here, especially brothers. Any woman, they walk in the club, women coming up to them. You know what I'm saying?
There's a lot of brothers out there, man, that really, and it's very unfortunate too. But there's a lot of brothers out there that feed into that, and they go out and pray for that.
But you know, women have monopolized that issue because they're more concerned about it than men. Men are really not concerned about being pretty unless they're just extremely vain. Some men have to do is wash their face and get a haircut, and 1,000 women want to sleep with them every day. Or just put on a chain and walk around and notice women come at you.
Absolutely.
Drive a nice car and women trying to jump in it. Who's a bigger fool?
Yeah.
I mean, you know, women should look at it. Okay, I keep getting taken advantage of this way. You know, if it's nothing wrong with being beautiful to me. I mean, some people are just good looking. I mean, you can't be mad or envious because they're good looking. You know what I'm saying? I mean, hey.
Let me do this. We have another caller. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
Frank Logan, calling from Detroit, Michigan.
Frank, what's going on, man? How you doing?
Man, I am living, alive, thankful, and everything's good.
Good deal. Good deal. We got a conversation going on this morning, man, and we're asking the question, what is beauty? What is beauty? Because everybody have a different idea of what beauty is and what beauty means to them. So, Frank, from where you're sitting and your expertise and your life experiences, man, what is beauty?
I mean, it depends on, you know, a whole lot of things. It depends on the maturity of the person that is looking upon a thing. It depends on what you're talking about. Some people may say that Pittsburgh Steelers are beautiful. I don't know what's wrong with them, but they may see them as beautiful. You know,
we already know all about the same.
But you know, the thing about it is, it's always going to be, it's going to vary for people.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, you could say, what is beauty? You could say, what is a friend? You could say, what is wealth? What is happiness? All of those what else is going to determine a person's definition of what that thing is. You know, what is happiness? Ooh, that's good right there, man. Let me tell you something. I bet you a whole lot of people's definitions have changed in the last 30 days of what is anything. You know, a whole lot of people's definitions have changed. Just because I know my wife is asleep, and to me, my wife is absolutely gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. But that is not the number one thing that's appealing to me. I mean, that was definitely important to me. I'm not going to sit up here and lie and say that wasn't important, because that's probably the initial thing that attracted me to her. But it was the who she was that kept me. You know, I noticed her. I said, "Oh, okay, she looks nice." But who is she? Because I dated a lot of pretty women, but knew immediately, oh no, that's not my wife.
Yeah.
You know, when you begin to evaluate, okay, is this my wife? You know, I mean, you could walk up to a woman, you could see a woman, and this, I could be wrong for saying this, but this is just Frank's definition. When I was dating, I could see a woman that was drop dead gorgeous, body of light. If she pulled a cigarette out of her purse, that was it.
Yeah.
There was no reason for me to say hi. There was no reason for none of that, because I never wanted to date a smoker.
Yeah.
And other people will say, but she's beautiful. Yeah, but I know this ain't going nowhere, so ain't no need of me wasting her time or mine.
Yeah. Exactly. Good morning, Kurt. How you doing this morning, sir? Kurt? Good morning. How you doing this morning, sir? Man, wake up, man. What you doing over there, man? Like you shot, I called your name. What? Hey, Kurt. Good morning. What we're talking about this morning, Kurt? We're asking a question, man. what is beauty? And everybody have their own definition of it. But Kurt, from where you are in your life experiences, man, what is?
What is beauty?
Yes.
Oh man. Oh man. It's beyond a visual. I can tell you that.
Mm-hmm.
It's beyond a visual. You know what I mean? Beauty is, to me, it's just
stay right there for a minute. Stay beyond a visual. Explain that to me.
To me, beauty is far and beyond a visual. Even when I was getting down like that, man, like I had this saying, like, if I can't build with you, I can't run no steel with you. So, you know what I mean? Like, for real, it's way beyond that. It's a mindset, man. Like, for me, this is my personal opinion. Beauty is a mindset. I done been around some people, and I have been one myself, that, look, I ain't the greatest looking dude in the world, but my brain is phenomenal. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, beauty is something that's picked up when you can sit down and have a conversation. See, a lot of people, you know what? It's my opinion that a lot of folks done forgot how to have verbal intercourse. Intercourse is physical. The beauty of conversation, man, of the beauty of finding out things about people that you didn't know was there. I mean, you know, that's what beauty is to me. You know what I mean? Some people are just shallow and they see it for face value, but like, you can wear a mask all day.
Exactly. Apostle, let me ask you this question. Apostle, can beauty be a curse?
What's that?
Can beauty be a curse?
It can be a curse to the person because of the attention that they get if they are beautiful in men's and women's eyes on the outside.
Mm-hmm.
And so, because there's an external beauty, you know, there was a song back in the day called Beauty's Only Skin Deep.
Mm-hmm.
And so, you know, it can be a curse and bring too much unwanted attention. But there's an internal beauty that would never be a curse.
Mm-hmm.
Because that internal beauty is so rich and so honorable and so loving that people would just be in awe of the beauty that comes from that person internally. Mm. Because the external beauty, as has been said, is just vanity. Mm-hmm. And that's what the scripture calls it. Mm-hmm. But, you know, so we have to look at it as there's an external beauty, a skin deep beauty, and then there's an internal beauty that is of the heart and of the character of a person.
Mm-hmm. That's good. That's good. Anna, what's on your heart right now?
So I want to read a comment that Awilda Dillon wrote. It says, it's in the eye of the beholder. And then they wrote, I just woke up. So I do agree with that. You guys have made some really good points. Probably one of my favorite ones, it has everything to do with art. I love art. I can sit here and watch art, go to a museum. I can just sit here and just look at art for hours. I love a good book. All of that is part of what I love. You know, it's not always who you are, what you are. I can say that to answer your question of what you say, can it be bad sometimes? I've seen where it could be a problem sometimes if you are an attractive person, or what someone considers, right? Because we can all be attractive to somebody in different ways. This one or that one might find, you know, this attractive about that person. It can be a problem, but what can one do but continue being themselves? What are you going to do? You know, fight about it? You can't fight about it. What can you do? in those situations, you know, just kind of let it roll off your shoulders, and it is what it is. You can't make, you know, you're always, this is how I look at it. You're always, and Christy can probably vouch to this because she's a woman, and I kind of wish that I had Kira here as a woman. I can answer as a woman. You guys are men. It's different for you guys. But as a woman, you're always going to have a hater, right? So somebody's not going to like that you have this or you have that or this and that, this that they like, that, you know, no one's ever fully happy with who they are, especially being a woman. Me, I can care less. Like, whether I'm big, small, blonde hair, gray hair, black hair, I just do what I want to do for me, what makes me feel good, you know? But see, some women just can't stand that. There's just something about, and I'll say this, there's something about your spirit that bothers them, and it's your spirit. Because to me, like I said from the beginning, beauty is not only outside. A lot of times it's inside, and that's what I look for in people. And a lot of times that bothers people, what that person has inside. And I'm not sure if you guys know what I'm trying to say, but a lot of times what you have inside really bothers people as a Christian, so forth, so on. I've dealt with situations like that, and like I said, I just let it roll off my shoulders.
Okay. A lot of times, women, I don't know how, I know how, but I don't understand how a woman could be jealous of another woman, because what they're doing now, they're going out there, what they don't have, they're going out there, they buying it. They buying this, they buying that. Okay, I need a little more tail feathers. I'm going to go buy some more tail feathers. You know, it's so much stuff. You know, I need my lips ain't big enough. I need to get. It's so much stuff that they're doing, and the hair. I want blonde hair today. They go out there and buy a blonde wig. So, Christian, what do you say to that, man? A lot of these women are just buying what they want. So, you know, a man come up, he don't know who we got. Oh, go ahead, Chris.
You know, I'm gonna say two things real fast. As funny, when you was talking about she has to be, when Linda said she has to be worth it, the song that came to my mind say, "I'll give you the world only if you worth it." And if y'all remember the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, and I'm telling my age, but that was a scene where Will Smith was ready to get married to this girl, and they got locked into the room, and he thought she was so beautiful. When they was locked in the room, he said, "Why don't you use these nails to pick the lock?" And she started popping off. "Here you go. Here the nails. Here they go." And then he started brushing her hair, and it was a weave, and it started coming out.
Ain't know what he had.
He was saying how beautiful her eyes were, and then the contact started coming out. So, you know, we as women have a lot of devices to look how we want to look.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't really get caught up on our looks, because you never know what is beyond those looks.
Exactly.
And I'm like Kurt, you know, beauty is in the eye of the beholder, but you have to know somebody's heart.
Mm-hmm.
You have to know what's on the inside of them. Because if they ugly on the inside, they're going to be ugly on the outside. I don't care how pretty they are. And like the caller said, that, you know, it could have been a drop dead gorgeous woman, and she picked up a cigarette. That was a total off. And it's the same way with us with men. Y'all men, we can be vain toward men as well. You have to have a certain physique. Look at how Aaron Long did his muscles so he can look a certain way. You know, and I'm going to be real, y'all. Some of y'all be trying to work on y'all packages because y'all feel like that's something that a woman would like, or that's something, I mean, they taking pills to make it grow, or they doing different things to make they package a little bit better, or, you know, some think it's already together and that it gives them the world. So men have their vanity too, but it's in a different area. Ours is our looks, so you guys are in y'all sexual demeanor of y'all things.
Okay, let me keep this thing going, because I don't know where you're going. Where you going, sister? I don't know where you're going, but let me do this. I'm going to go to Apostle Jewel, then I'm going to go to Frank. Apostle Jewel, what's on your heart right now?
Well, I think we're all explaining every bit of what beauty is, the benefits, the problems with it, you know, but I want to touch on the beauty of holiness.
Come on.
I want to introduce that to the discussion, because There is a beauty that is not deceitful, not vain, doesn't cause problems, but is righteous and pure.
Mm-hmm.
And that is only found in the Spirit. And it's a beauty of holiness, which is of the Lord. And that's the most beautiful thing.
Good deal. Good deal. Frank, what's on your heart concerning that? We're talking about beauty. What's on your heart?
You know, I love what he just said, and unfortunately, and this is one thing that this time has made me do, is to really evaluate me, because Scripture tells us that if my people would humble themselves, the people that are called by my name, it tells us that He would heal our land. You know, so it made me look at, okay, Frank, what is it that you're not doing? What is it that you can do? Because we don't have to be concerned about all these other people, because it said, if my people that are called by my name, no, not nobody else. We're not worried about all of these people that are obviously not believers. But he just talked about the beauty, the beautifulness of holiness. But the only problem is that what happens the majority of the time is that we visit a place that we should live. We visit holiness. We know when to be holy. We visit holiness when needed. You don't need to be holy around a bunch of other believers. Not saying that you need to just be crazy and buck wild and out there. But it is that Monday through Saturday. It is that when you're at home by yourself and you're watching something you shouldn't be watching on TV, and your kids are walking through the room and now they're confused because you're supposed to be a believer, but you're watching this soft porn. You're watching all this profanity. You know, you're letting your verbiage slip and what you're saying. But see, we visit holiness. And that's not what we should be doing. We should be holy. Our goal should be holiness all the time, whether we need it or not. And this is the last thing I'm going to say, because I know it's a lot of people that want to talk. I thank God for my parents, because my parents both worked really hard when I was a child. And they gave me, you know, the things that they wanted to give me, because they came from the South, and, you know, they dedicated their lives to their careers, and they made a good life for me and my sisters. And they wanted us to have things. But a lot of times when you talk about beauty, we look upon someone who may be beautiful or who may be fortunate, and we treat them different. And that's not fair. They're who they are. If they were born looking a certain way and had a certain grade of hair, or was built a certain way, they can't control that. So we should not penalize them, but we also should not show them favor, because then that means that we're discriminating against somebody else who may not look like that. So let me shut up and
that's good.
Let y'all go ahead.
That's good. Leonard, what's on your heart behind that? And we spoke briefly about that earlier, about them getting certain favors, them getting certain accolades in life because of the way that they look. What do you say to that? Okay, go ahead.
To me, it's just a blessing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see it no other way. It's like, you know, there's a lot of people that are just beautiful outside. You know, but it's, what is it worth? Is it just to look at? I mean, it's fine if it's just, I mean, a lot of times it's just to look at.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm not that deep a person where, you know, I'm just trying to find somebody's beauty. Oh, man, it is what it is. What you brought to the party is what you brought to the party.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you compliment it when you see it or whatever. I think one of the biggest problems is people who are insecure making it a big deal. If a person gets a benefit because of how they look, guess what? More to them. More to them. That person was born that way. Or somebody may have, you got guys that work out and things like, once you see them, they probably have complexes about being little skinny dudes. And then you see them and they big, they grew up, but nobody liked them then and they grew into it. You hear all these stories about this, that, and the other. But one, if it ain't stopping what you want to get, I don't think it's a big issue. Women, I think, like I said, to me, it's very vain. And I think there's something particular about it that has to do with with a feminine spirit. So I don't think men seek that type of attention as much as women, or women have gotten so much because of their beauty. Is reason why it's so coveted, I believe. Because one, you see what beautiful women are given, so now you want to be given what they've given. That in itself is covetousness. See, this thing is somehow a part of, can be very, sinful at that end of the spectrum. But no, man, I don't hate on people that's pretty. No, it's just, they just got lucky.
And see, and it's lucky is a good choice of words, but I say it a lot of time I tell people all the time, man, you have no control over who your parents are.
No.
And if two people are very attractive and they get together, a lot of times, Kurt, the child is gonna come out a certain way based on the DNA that in that pool that they are.
I'll give you a good example. I just happened to be watching. I just happened to be watching Family Feud, right? A celebrity edition of Family Feud.
Yeah.
And Boris Kodjoe is married to Ari Parker, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Do you know each one of them has someone at their house that looks exactly like them?
Mm-hmm.
And when you saw it together, it almost looked freakish. That this man would marry this woman, and they would be somebody at their houses just as beautiful as they were. And I don't know if the other two were married, but it almost looked like this girl looked exactly like her sister, but she's younger. Boris's brother looks exactly like him, except for a little darker eyebrows. And when you look at it, you be like, is something wrong? I'm not, this can't be true that these people look just like each other this much.
Mm-hmm.
So then you have to think about all the things that have been done to make certain people look a certain way. I know women will sit around and like, I want my baby eyes to be this color. So they'll go screw somebody with that color eyes.
Wow.
That's when you get strange.
Mm-hmm. Very, very. Let me do this. Let me go to Kurt. Kurt, what's on your heart, brother? You over there smiling. I see you smiling, brother. What's on your heart?
Kind of going to what Eldo just said, man. Let's just keep it real. You know what I mean? Like, if you're going through all these great lengths to make yourself beautiful,
something wrong with you.
To make yourself look pretty, something wrong with you.
Mm-hmm.
You're lying to folk.
Right.
And I'll be the first one to say it. I done fell privy to the lie. You know what I mean? Like, I done fell privy to the lie and woke up the next morning like, oh my, what was, boy, you better not have another drink in your life. I just, Raheem, I'm like, yo, like, even growing up, all my homeboys, most of my homeboys, they'll tell you, like, yo, it never really mattered to Kurt what a woman looked like. It did matter what she smelled like, though. But I didn't care, big, small, you know what I mean? because I have always been intrigued by folks' story.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what's the story with you? Like what do you want to do with your life? You know, what is it that you want to do after after college is over? What do you want to do after high school is over? How many kids do you want to have? You know what I'm saying? Like, it never really listen, I've always had a belief that you cannot put conditions on love. At the end of the day, love will come, it will show up, and it will turn on. And when it's ready to turn itself off, it will turn itself off. Most of the people that think they can turn love on and off at any given minute, most of them wind up real miserable, lonely people because they're not existing in their truth. Most of the people that's got to go through getting the fancy cars and the big houses and got to be at all of the functions and got to have on the right dress and weave and blah, 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 all that. When you really look at those people, if you was to really sit down and have a real dialogue and or conversation with those people, you'll find out that they are some of the loneliest people in the world because they spend a lifetime hiding behind an image.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's good. That's good. Frank, what's on your heart, brother?
Man, let me look at my notes. You should pat me on the back. I did not interrupt anybody, and man, I wanted to jump in, and I took notes. The one thing I want to say is that we have to be careful when we begin to talk about some of the challenges that women have in the workplace with what other women are doing to get promotions or to excel, because it's real, not only for women but for men, and there are stereotypes, especially if you're in front of a camera or if you are doing different things and they want a certain type of person. I can relate to that in sports where people don't understand how real steroids are in high school, where you got 4 or 5 guys trying to get the same position, and you got a coach that indirectly tells you, well, yeah, you could get your 40 time up, or you could get that bench up. You go ahead and hit that needle. And if you don't, well, man ain't got no problem doing that, and he gonna take your job. Now, if the only way that you see to get your family out of a bad situation is to take steroids and really mess your life up, some people are gonna make that decision. I wouldn't suggest anybody do that, but that struggle is real because you don't know what another person's situation is. The other thing, let me look at my last note and then I'm gonna get off my soapbox. The other thing, as far as vanity, when it comes towards men, I'm gonna be totally honest with you, man. If you are a married man, keep yourself right. Especially if you have a woman going into a professional workplace. Don't be walking around with toe-up drawers and stinking and your hair ain't cut and you're not trying to, you just eating everything and all out of shape. Don't do that to your wife, man. Keep yourself together. Don't make it difficult. Now she's somewhere and she's sitting in a boardroom with cats that's, walking past her in Armani suits and smelling good and well-groomed and in shape. And not saying that your wife should stray because she's saying that, but make it a little easy on her. Keep yourself together. And that's not vanity. That's just, when you were dating your wife, tighten up. That's all I got to say.
Keep it together. Anna, what's on your heart?
Well, first of all, I want to say, Frank, we missed you very much, and I'm glad that we got a call from you today. I've asked about you a few times, so I'm glad you called in today. Second of all, Frank has some very good points, but the walking around like that, come on, y'all shouldn't be doing that in the first place, and that's for men and women. Where none of us are perfect, and at the end of the day, and I want each and every one, because this is a Christian station at the end of the day, and I want everybody to remember this: for better or worse, in sickness and health, till death do us part. So keep that in mind as you do that. And Frank, I understand where you were coming from. It was a great point. Still take care of yourself, because that person does love you, and there has to be all of that to keep you together. But that is no excuse for anyone to leave their wife and or their husband, and I don't condone that at all. No matter what, love the person that you're with. And I'm a big person on supporting who you're with, no matter what, try to save that relationship when it comes to marriage. Another thing I want to say, you asked a question earlier, and I've been thinking about this a lot. Does it get you places? You got to think about the real world. So does anybody here watch, and that's even through social media, do you guys watch wrestling at all?
Yes.
I'm a huge, and I've been since I was little. Like, I used to watch Jimmy Superfly Snuka and all of that, Hulk Hogan. So I've been a wrestling fan. That's another very superficial career to be in, right? Mm-hmm. So if you look at everybody, it would be what would be beautiful it might not be beautiful to me, Leonard, or Raheem, but it might be beautiful to someone else. I'm just going to say Frank, because he's on the line. Mm-hmm. It might be beautiful to Frank, and it's a very superficial sport, right? Or fake sport, right? As I call it, fake sport, that will occupy about 2 hours of your time when you have nothing better to do on a Monday night, right? So, but if you think about it, people actually pay. And I think that wrestling makes more money. Those wrestlers have more fans than any other sport.
Yeah.
And why? Because I think there's a lot of superficial stuff going on there. So at the end of the day, to the world, maybe not to us Christians. In particular, I can say me. I told you guys at the beginning of the show, never once have I looked at a man for his outdoors or what he's got outdoors. Like, I mean, I hear of guys that get breast implants or 6-packs done or extra thighs or whatever it is, implants that men get. To me, that's not a turn on at all. It's kind of disgusting and gross. Like, exactly. It's just as bad as a woman doing it to me. If you can't be natural and love yourself, then, that's you, But if you think about it, that superficial sport makes more money than most sports. So think about it.
Good deal. Let me ask you this question. We're talking about what is beauty. So if you had to put these two things on the table, beauty versus personality, where would Leonard lean? I did it.
Well, I'm a big fan of pretty.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I used to go out with people just because I used to take people out to eat just because they were pretty.
Mm-hmm. That could be costly, brother. That could be costly, brother.
It doesn't matter. Mm-hmm. I mean, it is what it is. It's for what it's for. It's just. I think the people that are obsessing over it are the problem, not the pretty people. Mm-hmm. Some people are just good-looking people. I mean, it's not up for debate.
So, you said, and I want to clarify this for our listeners out there. You said sometimes you would take a person out just because they're pretty. Now, if a person wasn't pretty, does that mean you would not take them out, or
no?
Okay.
No, it's that I like looking at pretty people when I eat.
Wow. We stop right there, Leonard. Kirk, what's on your heart, brother?
Helps me digest my food.
No, you know what? I feel you, brother. I feel you, brother. You know,
See, y'all going, I don't know what road y'all about to go down right now, but go ahead, brother.
sometimes, you know what, man? I'm gonna keep it. Look, I'm a human being. At the end of the day, I'm a human being.
Are y'all about to say that beauty has its privileges?
I have yeah, beauty has a purpose. It does.
It's privileges.
But here's the addendum. The addendum is this. I don't want to sit around nobody that's beautiful and dumb. You dumb as a box of rocks. You ugly to me. If you're gonna be beautiful, as far as visually, you still have to be beautiful as far as mentally. I don't mean no harm. I mean the young lady I made a whole lot of money. I ain't gonna say her name, but if you hear her talk, she sound like she dumb as a box of rocks. She sound like she ain't got more than a 5th grade education.
Does her name start with a B?
She done made a bunch of money.
Does her name start with a B?
A B is in it.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? Like, and I think she's a beautiful, 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 beautiful soul. But if her persona is what she is all day, every day, oh God, I would be running down the street. Oh no, God no. So I get what El's saying. Like, it's nice to be like, I've had situations where I've been hanging out and everybody thought, like, man, Kurt, how could you not? Bro, I know you, but no, man, I ain't touched that girl. What you mean? She wanna, man, I ain't touched her. Well, why is she sitting around you? You got to be, because I just like having her around. She's a nice looking girl. You know what I mean? And she can have a good conversation. I like that much. You know what I mean? But just, Brian, just, some people just, I don't know, man. I don't know where this world made a big, I don't want to say a left turn or a right turn. I almost want to say a U-turn. It just, it's almost like
whatever happened, and I'm gonna go to Apostle with this, but whatever happened to the content of a person's character? And when we're so superficial that the only thing we look at is the beauty of what they look like, and we equate everything on what they look like. What happened to the somewhere I heard somebody say, I judge you by the content of my character. Apostle, what do you say to that?
Well, there's a lot of truth that came out today, and whereas myself, I am attracted to beauty, but that's a surface thing to me. And then you want to see character, you want to see a good quality and a good personality and a good discussion, so that you're not just going by the superficial surface thing, because if I'm just sitting down across the table and we're eating and you're beautiful, you have no character, you have no depth, no knowledge, it's like, hey, forget it. Why am I wasting my time?
Yeah.
And so you have to, I want to look for the quality of the life and or like their story, as Kurt said, and so I want to spend time to know what do you know that fits with what I know and taps into me that I can share with you. So it's more than just the surface thing for me.
Good deal. Anna, what's on your heart? Anna?
I really don't look at looks. I think you guys really, really don't believe me. I just look at. I'm sorry. No. Leonard's saying something. I'm sweating. It's so funny.
I'm going to attribute it to Anna's personality, because there are a lot of women just like Anna. And, you know, if they love you, you might have to call the authorities. That's all I'm saying. But people get lucky. And like what Anna was saying about a little, he got lucky. That's what we call getting lucky. If you look like Shrek, and Anna falls in love with you, bro, you got lucky. I can't hate on that. You know, that's crazy to me to you know, like, everybody loves. I don't know, Raheem playing us again, Kurt. And you know I have to call Raheem out. Raheem, you wasn't riding around looking for ugly chicks. Don't even play us like that, man. You're insulting my intelligence right now. And I'm fed up with you and Anna on this. Don't.
Okay. Hang on, Leonard.
And then you got Frank putting icing all on the cake. Man, come on, man. Pretty is pretty. When you see it, you see it. That's all it is. I'm saying, and there's nothing wrong with it. Right. But you know, I'm not mad. You know, some women be so mad at other females and think, man, it's a waste of time. Mm-hmm. It's just the hand that them people dealt. Mm-hmm. You know, we can't hate on pretty people like that just because they're good looking. That's almost as horrible as anything else, man.
Do you think that's reverse discrimination? Don't answer that right now. Hold on, we got a call.
Okay.
Caller, what's your name? What you calling?
Hey, Raheem, also, I don't know if you called on me, but I'm back if I happen to miss you. But go ahead.
Okay. We got another caller. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from? Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
I don't know if you're talking to me. It's Betsy.
Yes. What's your name?
Hi, Betsy. How are you?
Hey, Betsy. How you doing?
Love you.
Betsy, we're asking a question.
I was watching the show live, and then I had to call in.
What is beauty, Betsy? What is beauty? What is beauty?
From my understanding, the topic is beauty, or do you go for beauty?
No. What we're talking about? What is beauty? What is beauty? What does beauty mean to you?
What is beauty?
Yes.
I think beauty is your personality, how you treat others, and what you do, and the affectionate on others. I don't think it has anything to do. Well, I don't want to say anything to do with looks because I would lie. Mm-hmm. But the main thing is what I said.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's good.
And how you treat others, and that makes a big impact. You can be beautiful and treat people like doo-doo, and that makes you an ugly person. Mm-hmm. No matter how beautiful you are on the outside.
Does beauty?
That's how I feel.
Hey Betsy, does beauty have its privileges?
I think for some it might, mm-hmm. But that just at the end it just leaves you. It might give you a privilege, but a privilege to what? Where, you know what I mean? Like to where you're going, because your beauty could be a privilege, but then once your personality shows up, if you're not a good person, where's that going to lead you?
Yeah, that's good. That's good. And
a lot of times that just leads you to bad.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Anna, what's on your heart?
Hey, Betsy, they appear to think I'm lying. Let's not say names because we're on air. But didn't I have an ex that looked like Shrek?
Oh my gosh. I think we all have one of those. Because I'm not the type, that goes for looks. I'm the type that, if you treat me good, and a lot of times that's what men do. They treat me like queens in the beginning. they, you know, and then a year or so later, you wake up one day and you're like, who the heck is this in my bed? I don't know you. And then you realize how ugly they really are. And you're blinded.
Exactly.
Exactly. Betsy and I attribute it to our epilepsy.
Kurt, let me
Girl, calm down. You're gonna make me laugh.
Okay, Kurt. Now, Kurt, tell me what you did. Tell everybody what you texted. What you texted in one day. Yeah. Tell everybody what you did, Kurt. You share it, man.
Huh?
Share what you just posted something in the chat window.
No, I remember distinctly, man. One time I brought this girl home, and God bless the dead, man. My mama, I miss you, Cheryl. I swear I did. But one time I brought this girl home, and she wasn't the best looking. You know, she was not the best looking. And my mom would come downstairs, you know, because we gonna sit in the living room and watch some TV. And my mama come downstairs. So my mama come downstairs and like, Mom, you know, I want you to meet such and such, such and such. And my mama looked at her. And she first, when she came downstairs, when you come down the stairs, you had to bend the corner to go to the kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
So you really couldn't see in the living room. You had to literally bend the corner and then take a quick right to go into the living room. So when she came down and bent the corner, you know, I was sitting like closest to where the opening to the living room was. So I seen her and I like, hey, Ma, you know what I mean? I said, Ma, I want you to meet. And like she had her head down. And when she seen her, she like leaned back like, oh, right? So, so she, you know, she said, hey, baby, how you doing? And you say your name as well. So she took her name, right? And when she went to one, she said, well, enjoy yourself. If you need anything to drink or something, just let Kurt know and you'll be good. And it was like she was trying to get away from her, you know what I mean? So when she walked off, she said, Kurt, come here, I need to talk to you. So we go in the kitchen. My mom told me, she looked me right in my face and I never get it. She said, now you listen here. Don't you ever date no woman that's uglier than you.
Dang, Kurt.
And I looked at my mama and I'm like, Mom, what you saying about? I'm not saying nothing. I just said it. Don't you ever date no woman that's uglier than you. Did you say she ugly? She's not going there. I'm just telling you.
Oh my God.
Let's get hold on. We gotta keep this thing going. What's on your heart, brother? Talk to me.
No, I know how Kurt felt because once your mother clowns you, first of all, you can never date that girl again. That's over with because my mom, when I bought my first house when I was 19, and my mother, when I told her I was moving, she just cried. I mean, and the next thing I know, my parents had bought me a house across the street from them. It was directly across the street. I'm like, y'all gotta be kidding me. And so this was back in the time where guys, you know, especially, you know, my crew of guys were experimenting. You know, every movie came out. If this movie came out, you had to have that kind of girl. And this movie came out, you had that type of girl. So it was in a period where younger men were dating older women. So I found this older woman and I brought her to my place. And I got out of my car and walked around, opened the door for her. And as I was pulling the door back, I looked across the street and my mother was on the porch crying. She was laughing so hard, she was on the porch. She was just rolling. Now, she wasn't laughing loud where anybody could see it, But she was just dying laughing. So I let the lady into my house. I said, hey, I'll be right back. I went across the street to my mom, and I said, Mom, what is wrong with you? She said, is that one of my friends over there? I said, oh my God. So I just went and got the lady. I said, this is not gonna work out. Put her right back in the car and took her home. Because once your mother clowns,
it's a wrap. It's a wrap.
It's over. It's over.
Leonard, I'm afraid to come to you, brother, but what's on your heart? Go ahead. Let me unmute you. Go ahead.
I'm just too busy laughing. I'm just too busy laughing right now because you know what, man? I was so nonchalant and everything. I didn't even have a type.
Mm-hmm.
People say, what type, girls will say, what type of girl? I like girls that like me.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, for whatever reason, because it's not, you never know why, especially as a guy. And I can't speak for you all, but you ever had a girl just pick you out?
Yeah. And
for some reason, she just likes you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And you have no idea.
Mm-hmm. What I do.
And that's when you really, and I think men forget about that when they get into the young adult stage. That's how possessive crazy it can get.
Mm-hmm.
Not saying Anna's crazy, but when a woman picks you out and you have no idea, and she'll be like, I just love your dirty drawers. And you'll be just like, why does she like me? Like she's talking about she dated a guy that looked like Shrek. But it was just something that women like Anna will pick out about you. And they may make that the focus of their attention. So everything else don't matter to them. And women do that. And so it's I'm listening to the stories about taking the women, this, that, and the other. And it's just so funny. Like you say, it's not that some people are not more attractive than others or whatever. It's just that some people just think beauty is different and it's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay. This notion that everybody is going to like the way you look is crazy. Or that everybody has to. It drives people insane. We have entire industries built on vanity. And so we have to understand that is why this is such an issue. It's directed to, now they're marketing towards men. They have men makeup now, a whole line of men makeup. What are they calling it? War paint now? Men makeup, they're calling it war paint.
Don't need it.
And you have men getting more constructive surgeries and things like that. And, there's a lot of different things I think that men are becoming a lot more superficial as well. But then again, I believe it's because they're looking to attract other men, a lot of them. And like we can go so far as it's okay to get, clean nails and things like that. But when you start looking at women and start mimicking them, that's when you notice that your men are losing control of themselves.
Exactly. We got a caller. Hold on for a second. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
This is Cassandra Green, calling from Atlanta.
Good morning, young lady. How you doing this morning?
Good morning. How are you?
Doing well. I'm not gonna do it. I'm gonna go right into the question. Cassandra, what is beauty? And thank you for calling in this morning. What is beauty?
First, I want to say that the entire hosting group that's up right now is on timeout. And I'm just going to all of y'all got a 1 minute timeout. Because it's like y'all was laughing. So I said, this is just not right. So Anna is in timeout, Leonard is in timeout, Kurt is in timeout. Because y'all just, no. So, okay. Now that we're done with that, you're on timeout. Beauty to me is totally inner. It's inner. I don't care how pretty you are, and boy, I've had some amazing looking men that were attracted to me, and I could never figure out why, because I'm not pretty like that. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just being honest. I'm not raising beauty or anything like that. But very attractive men have always been attracted to me, and I was like, God, Why are they even talking to me? And later, God said they are attracted to your spirit. People can actually be attracted to your spirit without any words being exchanged, because I couldn't understand why they came over. So I believe the beauty shines even from within. And yes, it's a physical. Yeah, people are attracted to that physical thing. But I'm like, someone said that they were never attracted to. They never really look at the person's outer appearance so much. They if somebody liked them, they like them, and that was attracted to just a person's physical appearance. That is the least that I'm looking at. But I am attracted to people's spirit. I really am. If you have a good heart, you care about me, you want to spend time with me, it's all good. But for some reason, very attractive men have always been attracted to me.
Good deal. Let me ask Apostle this question. Apostle, and Frank, I'm coming to you with this question as well. And Betsy, I know you're still there. I'm gonna throw this question to all three of y'all, but I want to hear y'all from each one of y'all individuals' hearts. But what can turn beauty? What can turn beauty ugly? Apostle?
Well, it's, and I think this was already spoken once. I believe what turns beauty to ugly is the way a person acts and the things that they do. It'll change the whole situation in a moment. So that's my response.
Okay. Frank, what do you say to that? And Betsy, coming to you next.
I got to agree with what has been said about some people that are just good looking. And their behavior is not going to change how they came here, but it will change how you perceive them. It's just, okay, yeah, you are a very beautiful woman or you are a handsome man, but I don't want to be around you. I don't want to deal with you on a person. But you're not for me. You're not somebody, depending on how mean you can be. But see, thank you, Lord. See, that trait is not just good-looking people. There are a lot of people who are not necessarily, but they're mean too. So they're not attractive to me. So the same thing for the attractive person goes for the person that is not attractive. It's not. See, and sometimes we hold people that we say, yeah, they're good looking, but they're not good looking, but that other person has the same trait as this good looking person, but you just have an expectation of them. People are people, man.
Yeah.
No matter, like I said, no matter what grade of hair they have or how they're built up or what their complexion is, the first thing you're going to meet is, how a person looks and their representative. And then you're going to get to know them, and then you're going to find out who the real person is.
That's good. That's good. Betsy, what do you say to that, Betsy? What could turn beauty ugly?
What makes people ugly?
Huh?
Or what cheating? Is that what you said?
Yeah. What would turn beauty ugly?
I think it's the way they act and perceive themselves. Some people are so stuck up. They think they're so beautiful that they feel like they're better than other people, and I cannot stand somebody like that. Where they know they are or they think they are, and they just feel like they're better than everybody else. Oh, that ugly girl over there, I can't stand her. Well, do you know that ugly girl over there? You don't know her, so how could you not? How could you know that you can't stand her?
Yeah.
You're not even giving her a chance because you think she's ugly. You're being far worse than some of these men. And one of the things that I was gonna say was beauty and handsomeness, your taste or whatever. Everybody has their own. Can you imagine if we all thought that the same person, like the same kind of people, everybody has their own taste. Like, I have friends that go for short, fat men. I have friends that go for tall, skinny ones. I have friends that go for black. I have friends that go for white. If everybody has the same taste, we all be fighting over the same man.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, and of course, at the end, it all goes with the inside and how they treat somebody. Mm-hmm. You can be the most, oh my God, the finest man in the world, but treat somebody like crap, and that's just not right. I don't like that.
Exactly.
Kurt,
what's on your heart, brother? Unmute. Y'all acting up in that chat over there, man. I ain't even comment on that chat no more.
Did you just call on me, Ryan? Did you say Kurt?
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay. Man, listen, I've seen that too. Like I've did film work and stage work with some amazingly beautiful, I mean, drop dead gorgeous women and men. You understand what I'm saying? But their attitudes was so disheartening that they just seemed like the most unattractive person. It's one thing to look good. It's another thing to look good and be attractive.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? I have been in some films and did some stage work with some people that if they walk down the middle of the street, they could stop traffic.
Mm-hmm.
But their personalities were so unattractive that nobody wanted to deal with.
Any question?
They was only in the show or in the film because they had a certain level of talent that was needed. You understand what I'm saying? But in all reality, the directors and or the crew really did not want to deal with them at all. You see what I'm saying? So like beauty to me, just at the end of the day, beauty goes far and beyond a look. My eyes might be deceiving me.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I think about Ray. If you blind, what is beauty to you?
Mm-hmm.
Like, what for real? What is beauty to you if you cannot see? So I get what everybody is saying. You know what I mean? Because I done been in that situation before. And I done been in a situation where a person looked, and this for real, Raheem. When I did Before Dying, right?
Mm-hmm.
There was like 3 or 4 girls that auditioned for that show. Okay. One of the girls was real talented, and she was a beautiful girl, but guess she didn't get the part.
Mm-hmm.
Because she looked too beautiful.
Wow.
And the director did not want to cast that image
and pull away.
You see what I'm saying? Exactly. The director wanted it to stay. I know why she did it. The focus needed to stay on the kid that's locked up, that's being accused of murder that didn't do it.
Mm-hmm.
Director didn't want to pull away from that because this girl was so beautiful. You know what I mean? She didn't want to create this image, but I've seen that happen, man. And as a director myself,
mm-hmm.
you come in here and you pretty and you got it all together, but you are an emotional wreck or you just a diva. I don't want you in my work because you take away from the creativity that need to go on.
Good, yeah. Let me do this. We got another call. I'm coming to you, Anna. We got another caller. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
Good morning. This is Bishop.
Good morning, Bishop. How you doing, sir?
Man, I'm blessed.
Good deal. Good deal. We're talking about Bishop. Before I even say that, let me breaking news. Breaking news. J. Crew files for bankruptcy after economic hit from the pandemic.
Yeah, I seen that on Friday.
Yeah, J. Crew has filed for bankruptcy. But Bishop, we're talking about what is beauty. What is beauty, Bishop? In your estimation, in your eyes, what is beauty?
Well, that's you. And I've been listening to the show, and I have to agree with my dear sister, son. Beauty lies in the eye of the beholder. And what people often misconstrue as being beautiful is the face of an individual. But it's that spirit. It is the spirit of the individual that makes them beautiful. Because as we get older, our features begin to change. Our skin begins to wrinkle up to some degree. And all that physical beauty begins to dissipate or leave. But if that spirit is wrong, that spirit is ugly, or the attitude that the person has, that's exactly what makes them beautiful or ugly. So I was in Romans the 10th chapter and says how beautiful it feels them to preach the gospel and bring the tidings. And I would, go to that end, but it all together depends wholeheartedly on how the person really acts as it relates to the physical side.
Good deal. Good deal. Cassandra, what's on your heart?
Yeah, that scripture, I was just thinking about that scripture, saying it when you came back around to me, the bishop just used. But let me give you an example. Yesterday, I was actually traveling yesterday, and I stopped at this gas station, and I went in to use the bathroom. I was in the bathroom. There was a set of twin girls, about 10 or 11, with their mother. And so I came out, I was washing my hand, and one of the little girls came out and she touched my top, and I turned around and she says, I just wanted to tell you that you're beautiful. And so I was like, it just sort of took me aback a minute. And then her mother came right out behind her and she said, she came and asked me, could she tell you that you were beautiful? And I almost wanted to cry because, as some of you may know, I'm bald right now. I'm totally bald because of a health condition. And, I like my little clothes and my little jewelry. And it just made my day that a child, took the time, to ask their mom, could she tell me that I was beautiful? But I still believe that it wasn't so much the spirit just draws people. It really does, y'all. And I just wish that we would show more of that side of ourselves, and women not be concerned so much about the weave and the, all of the makeup. And I wear very little makeup. And I just, but it's okay if you wear a lot, that's fine. But that doesn't make you beautiful. That does not make you beautiful.
Exactly. The superficial thing. Anna, what's on your heart?
Yeah.
Well, I couldn't really hear what Bishop read. However, I wanted to read this to the listening audience and to the panel as well. The Lord does not look at the things man looks at. Man looks at the outward appearance, but the Lord looks at the heart. 1 Samuel 16:7. So I want you guys to keep that in mind, that at the end of the day, I think the Lord couldn't say it better. He looks at your heart. He looks at who you are inside. All that outward, we joke and everything and have had a great time today. It's been a really good broadcast. We're laughing and stuff. But with that being said, that's what he looks at. He looks at who you are, how you seek him, and everything. I truly believe that, and I think that that's why I have truly not looked at anybody outwardly. I've looked at their heart and who they are from the beginning, and I just I just want you guys to keep that in mind. So, you know, when you do think about, you know, outwardly, a lot of times we are very superficial, and we do, and this is all of us, we're guilty of it. We do look at the outside. So just keep that in mind and just look at people for who they are inside, no matter who it is, whether it's at the workplace, church, work partner, whatever. Your partner that you actually go to marry, look actually at the inside, because they may be the most beautifulest rock in the whole wide world, and it may be a diamond in there that you're missing out on. So just remember that.
Absolutely. Now let me ask this question. Frank, are you there?
Yes, sir.
A child, a young person, they know the experiences that they have, even as a young person. They know the experience, and when they grab onto something, this person is being treated better than me because they look this way, they look that way. Is that something they could carry for the rest of their lives? And how damaging can that be?
You know, that can be very damaging. I mean, that thing right there could follow a person to the grave. And not only because of outward appearances, but parents have to be careful not to show preference. And begin to lean towards a kid's skill set, whether it's academic or if it's where they're, you know, another kid is just more athletic or whatever it could be. You know, parents have to be careful how they compliment their kids. And you really have to grow kids up to where, you know, they understand that, okay, when I compliment your brother or your sister, that does not mean I don't love you. You know, so, you know, you have to be careful. And Anna, I want to thank you for, you know, noticing, you know, that I wasn't here. And I just want to put this out there because I really hope that people take heed to what I'm about to say. And because of the industry that I'm in and because of this virus, you know, and that I'm in the pharmaceutical field, we've been very, very busy. But I've seen something that has been very interesting, is that we've been busy because we've been providing, you know, hospitals with these kits and setting up these makeshift hospitals, and the armies come in and set up facilities. So we've been sending all types of supplies to them. But on a brighter note, the medication that we've been sending for high blood pressure and for diabetes and all of that stuff has gone down because the fast food industry has slowed down so much. They've been closed. So I hope that people, if they're feeling better right now, as things begin to open up, don't run back to these places, you know, that had you sick. You know, if you're feeling better because you've been at home and you've been, you know, eating better and maybe you've been getting a little more exercise or whatever you've been doing, please continue to do that. Let's not just go back into bad habits. And the last thing I want to say is that, man, I have hundreds of friends, and it's so good for me to call a lot of my friends, and instead of them being at the golf course or somewhere else, you know, they're home with their family. And I'm talking about men. You know, they're home. You can hear their wife in the background, and they're laughing and playing board games and doing things together. You know, we need to look at this and evaluate it. And really think about the things that we've made important, the things that have pulled us away from our families. And we need not to run back to those things.
Absolutely.
It gets lifted.
Absolutely. Good deal. Good deal. Let me see who we got here. Kirk, what's on your heart, brother? Bishop, coming to you next. Unmute, Kirk. There you go.
You know, and what Brother Frank just said, man, I'm gonna say it again, man. I've been saying it for a while, Raheem. I mean, we all know it. Where there's great tragedy, God will always make great triumph, man. There's always a greater story to whatever a given situation is. You just gotta be spiritually aware and be able to adapt and overcome. I heard Bishop yesterday say, and let me be the one to say, Bishop, my God, well, you fed the spirit yesterday. But I heard Bishop say yesterday, now is the time for we as a people to get our minds right.
Mm-hmm.
Now, there was a whole lot of jewels in what he had to say yesterday and what God spoke through him. But the one thing that stuck out in my mind was, now is a time, folks, to get your mind right. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes, bro, you know, sometimes God has set you down or set you still so that you can really see what's going on. You know, you got some dudes out here, Raheem, who ain't never seen their significant other without makeup on.
Mm.
I hate to put it like that, but I'm gonna tell you, got some dudes out here who never seen their significant other without makeup on, without their hair done, without their feet done, without their nails done. You see what I'm saying? And now, guess what? You know, and me and AJ had this conversation. What's finna happen now is a whole lot of relationships are gonna be tested. You find out if you've been dating Shallow Hal. You know, you finna find out if you've been dating Mr. Seat. You know, because if you read the scriptures, canon and text, I believe it say that Delilah was a beautiful person.
Mm-hmm.
I believe it say she was gorgeous. But you see but it did, according to the gorgeousness, he didn't think about the deceit that was going to come with that. So, I mean, you know, now Bishop couldn't have said it no greater. Bishop couldn't have said it no better for the time that we have right now, which is, hey, y'all, it's time to get y'all mind right.
Good deal. Bishop, what's on your heart, Bishop? Boy, we covered some stuff today.
Yes, Lord. I want to say I appreciate the brother yesterday. And he said a mouthful as it relates. He said, Shallow Hal. Man, you went way back. Oh my goodness, but people don't realize where the beauty really lies. And I'm going to go back to a text out of the book of Esther, when the king called for his wife Vashti because she was building one to show off, but she refused to come forward. Her arrogance caused her to lose her position, and that's when the king got Esther, because Esther she was beautiful, but she had a humble spirit. And if we don't be careful and think, oh, I'm getting her, man, she's beautiful. And after a day or two, you find out, yes, she may have a beautiful exterior, but the interior is all jacked up. Mm-hmm. It's completely corrupt because of her vain behavior, her vain thinking. So that's why, and I would love for people to understand that, you can find a lady that's beautiful, a man that's handsome, you know. As some would say, the Rock Hudson of a guy that they're looking for. But you need to have a conversation with them and find out where their mind lies. Are they intelligent enough? Are they humble enough to be able to be in your life? So I think it's a great topic. I've been listening. I said, let me go on and call in, because everybody has some very valuable points. Mm-hmm. But I do appreciate, our dear sister Cassandra, when I listened to her, she said what she said. That's what sparked my mind to think and look at it in totality. Don't look at the outward appearance. Look at the heart. And I appreciate that.
Hey, Raheem, can I ask a question?
Absolutely.
Do we discriminate against people that are good looking just because of their looks?
A lot of times, yes. A lot of times, yes.
Yeah, we make the automatic assumption that they only got what they got because they were good looking, not realizing this person might actually be good looking and extremely brilliant.
Yeah, yeah. And so
I met some of them too.
That work. Actually, it worked both ways though. There's two sides to that coin right there. And yes, but sometimes the opposite does apply as well. Sandra,
Yes.
we was talking about the young child that may have been told, or may have witnessed not being treated the same because of the fact they didn't have the look that another child had. Now, is that something that will carry the rest of their life?
Oh, absolutely. Because, I dealt with that because, and people would actually say to me that I was the ugly duckling out of my siblings because I have two sisters. I'm brown skinned. I have two sisters that are extremely light skinned and they have really, that good hair. We call that warm and grease hair. They just flick it back to them. Yeah. So I was called the ugly duckling and people would treat us very different. They treated me very different from my other, from my siblings. And it really damaged me for years because, people assumed that they were smarter. My light skinned sisters were smarter because they were light skinned. You understand what I'm saying? There were all of these things that say, yes, you can really do damage because do that. When you differentiate between your children, their self-esteem can be damaged. So,
exactly.
And once you don't feel good about yourself, everything else goes downhill from there.
I'm gonna tell y'all something. If y'all are looking at this thing, man, and y'all see everybody laugh, there's a chat room that's going on amongst the people that's actually on the video, and they're clowning like crazy. So they're not laughing at anything. I just want to make sure everybody knows they're not laughing at anything anybody is saying. They have their own little conversation going on the side there. So just wanted to clear it up. They are Kurt wrote in there that somebody said that somebody is heavy on the eyes. Man, come on, man. Who said that? Yeah, Kurt said
that was me. Hold on, man. Now, listen, man. Listen. I told y'all I was raised by Malcolm.
That's old school, Kurt.
I was raised by Malcolm X and Martin Luther King. My mama's mama was Martin Luther King. My daddy mama was Malcolm X. Now, I'll tell you something about Annie Merrill now. Annie Merrill ain't had no problem telling you, even if you were walking down the street, baby, Cassandra.
Yes.
You know how the Mogiches do, baby. Now, baby, now come on now. You're kind of heavy on the eyes now. Come on, get it right. Get it right. You still a woman now. Get it right. What you doing?
I am not partaking in you, Anna, and Leonard on timeout. I don't know why y'all even talking. Why are you talking to them with me? They are on timeout. They over there laughing so hard.
Exactly.
I'm just saying. I'm telling y'all. I done seen my grandmama do it. I done seen my grandmama do it at the church. Come in there just dressed on any kind of way. Look, hey, now, come on now. You heavy on the eyes now. But you better than that. I'm just saying, like that the old folk used to. I'm just saying, man.
Anna, what's on your heart, Anna? Come on, let's mute Kurt for a minute.
Cassandra, I'm going to say something and then I'm going to read something that somebody wrote. But Cassandra, you're absolutely right. I've been laughing. I've been having a good time. But truthfully and from the bottom of my heart, I really look at the inside and not the outside. And the only reason I found out that I was dating somebody who looked like a character was because my family told me. I did not realize this for about 5 years. So to my defense, I had no clue. They just decided to come up to me one day and say, "Did you realize that you..." I was like, no. And then I never looked at that person the same. It was just kind of freakish. Every time I would look at them, I was like, What is going on? So anyhow, to my defense, they've just been saying some really funny stuff on that chat. So it's been like nothing nobody said. I love you very much, and you are beautiful inside and out. Also, my best friend wrote on here, I'm so sorry. My son called in. I really love the show. Y'all had me cracking up this morning. Also, a very deep conversation. People need to listen up.
And Leonard, let me tell you what Leonard said. Leonard said, I'm not going to call a friend name. Leonard said, have a friend and say they call him ugly and his name. And Leonard said that he has grown into his face.
What's up, Ugly Larry, if you're listening?
And he going to call the dude name.
Larry know he was ugly. Larry told us he was ugly. And so we grew up, you know, he was ugly Larry. You know, you know how it's when you're a guy, there's just some things you have to accept.
Y'all call the man ugly Larry.
But even if you are ugly, you can still. Anna will probably think you look like Denzel Washington. You just got to find somebody that like what you look like. You know what I'm saying?
Leave me alone.
So it's like with men, you learn how to play your hand.
Like
okay,
so
one thing.
You got to learn to like your level of ugly.
Or if you know you're an unattractive person, you know, as a child, if you're unattractive, another kid will tell you. Mm-hmm. And so in the hood, I mean, even if you were like had a limp or something, you know, you got to play the hand you dealt. You know, you still got to be that guy. You know, even if you are this, that, and the other, you can't let what other people think about you hurt your feelings. We become so weak as individuals now. We want to make everybody think they pretty and everybody think they perfect and blah, blah, blah. Man, look, everybody not going to be pretty. A lot of women, now I'm going to tell you why I make fun with Anna so much. It's because my background with the Hispanic community. And so one, you know, we all grew up so mixed together. So you learn a lot about each other. And, you know, it's not so much sometimes as being absolutely beautiful. It's not. Somebody may find something about you that they just like, even if like everybody else think you ugly. Ugly people got kids at the house too. So, you know,
so
there is.
Are they ugly kids?
I'm just saying they got kids. Somebody like them. They on top of them or whatever. So, you know, it's not about being, you know, if you pretty, yes, you should use being pretty. That's why you're pretty. Because you probably need pretty. You know what I'm saying?
And why did you type in there? You got to learn how to cook. What was that for?
Learn, if you're not pretty, learn how to do something else. I'm serious. There's plenty of 10s married that's getting cheated on, and your man with 7s, 6s. It could be because she baked his favorite cake, or she know how to take care of him when he come home, or she does exactly what he wants. Everybody got a hand to play.
Anna said, "Ugly people make pretty babies." Lord,
hey, look, there are some. Hey, look, my mom was so funny about it. My mother, if you was unattractive, and mom, like Kurt had me laughing. My mama come around the corner and see you, she might go, "Ooh," and she can't control herself when she thought something was funny. So it was like an explosion of laughing. And so we were like, "Mom, oh my God, why did you do that?" And she just couldn't help it. But it's not like she didn't love you or whatever. You shocked her. You know what I'm saying?
Let me do this. Let me go. Frank, going to Frank.
I gotta go.
All right, Leonard. Appreciate you, brother. See you in the morning. Frank, then I'm going to our Bishop. Frank, what's on your heart? Frank, you there? Man, we just lost him. Bishop, what's on your heart, brother?
Well, saying is so funny. And I remember when Muhammad Ali was living, and he used to always say, "I'm so pretty." Mm-hmm. And I used to laugh.
How you say, Bishop?
I'm so pretty. He's a great boxing head, and he knew exactly how to entertain. But at the end of the day, I don't don't think anybody particularly wants to wake up in the bed laying next to someone that is extremely ugly. But I think when they fall in love with someone,
that could be shock therapy.
They fall in love with.
That could be shock therapy.
What?
That could be shock therapy.
Oh, oh yeah, boy. That is a serious shock therapy.
Yeah, that's shock therapy. Wake up every morning, shock therapy, brother. Get your day off right.
That's the very reason I tell you I need my beauty sleep so that I don't shock my wife when she wakes up in the morning.
Wow. Mm-hmm. Kirk, back up, man. We can barely see you, brother. But there you go. Cassandra, what's on your heart? We're ready to get on out of here. We gotta go. Cassandra?
Yes.
What's on your heart before we get out of here?
No, Bishop, I'm shocked. I'm shocked. Bishop got a minute in timeout too. So the whole team just got timeout this morning because y'all just like, okay. So no, really, I've enjoyed this. I needed this morning. So it's really been good. But we talk about, even through the laughter, we talk about some very important issues, and it's really important for us to realize that it's not about the outward appearance, like the scripture Anna read. It's not about the outward appearance to God.
Yeah.
But, of course, to man, we look at the outside and then consider the inside. But we need to realize that the beauty of a person comes from their spirit. It really does. Some of the most beautiful people I know are not attractive at all. But when I talk to them, their beauty really comes out. That's when I see the beauty of who they are. So let's just make sure that our listening audience understands that we kid around, but we absolutely know that beauty is from the inside and not so much from the outside.
Okay. Kurt, let me ask you this question. And I agree 110% with what you just said. Absolutely, it comes from the inside. But if you fall in love with somebody and you realize their beauty, and they may not be the most attractive person, but you realize that their beauty is an internal beauty, and it's something that's going. Do you think that could be an everlasting love?
If you find out that their internal beauty is like what, on steroid, like they got like a real high internal beauty.
Yes.
You're asking me? Yes.
If physically they're not beautiful, but you get to know this person, you spend time with this person, and you realize that this person is beautiful.
You know what? To be honest with you, bro, you could be Power Ranger ugly, physically, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if your beauty is on the inside and it radiates like that, it will even transform your physicality. I mean, let me listen. Thank you, God. When God created man, he did a marvelous thing. Because the brain, when the brain is stimulated, the brain can alter anything. If you're telling me that I met this lady, and I've been down this road before. I met a young girl. I probably was like 16 or 17. She wasn't the greatest looking girl. For real, she wasn't the greatest looker. But her spirit was so right and so much of a blessing to me, so much a blessing to the people around her, that whatever physicality she had that didn't line up to what the world said, I didn't even see that. I saw the beauty, like the song say, beauty's, what it say, beauty's only skin deep.
Yeah.
Right? But I think beauty is far beyond the skin. So if it's so powerful that if you get the opportunity to see that beauty, that's a blessing. One, that you got the opportunity to see beyond the skin. Two, if you see it, it will completely alter your physical reality. You won't look at this person with a physical reality. You're looking at them because you know what's on the inside. You see the real beauty. So bro, like, hats off. I'm not saying, I don't want anybody to misinterpret anything that I've said on this show today. Like, listen, I've been the ugly dude. I've been the extreme ugly dude. I've been the halfway decent looking dude. And to be honest with you, when I hear somebody say, "Oh my God, you fine," I'd be wondering what are they looking at? Because I don't see that. You know what I'm saying? But I know what it feels like to be marginalized or pushed to the back because you don't look as good as everybody else. That internal beauty, man, that's the best kind of beauty to have. And for real, the people who can show their internal beauty, most of the time end up with a greater level or a greater rate of successful marriages.
Yeah, good deal. Anna, what do you say to that?
So I had to write this down real quick because this is something, because I am not a person who looks at the external. I always look at the internal first. So then I asked myself, how about when you look at the inside and then you find out it is a bad deal? So then it's like, I looked at you for your inside and then you're not as good of a person as I thought you were. First of all, following God, because that's what I look at first. And, you know, everything else, your work habits, how you take care of your family and everything. And you're kind of blinded because you're seeking, I guess, that good in them. And it's really not there. What then? You know, because I was joking earlier, but that's truly been my situations in the past, because I really don't look at the outside, period. That's going to take you nowhere, because usually people like that are very superficial and they give you a worse time. You deal with cheating, all kinds of other stuff. So then what then? When you find out that they got a lot of bad qualities, then it makes it that much worse. So just keep in mind to seek God, make sure that you guys are equally yoked. Because I think in the past, that was a lot of my issue. We weren't equally yoked, and I was looking for something inside of them, and God was like, that's not the one, you know, and I took a different route. And all joking aside, you know, we've laughed a lot. It's been a wonderful show. I didn't think it was going to go here. I thought it was going to go different ways, but I'm kind of glad that I was honest enough to say, I don't look at the outside at all. I look at the inside. But then what happens when, you know, you start peeling the different layers of that person and they're really not a good person inside or out? What then? You know, so.
That's good. Listen, I'm looking at the clock. It's 9:13. Time for us to get out of here for today. It's been a great broadcast, man. I definitely appreciate everybody. And I appreciate you allowing DKM Radio and the Morning Glow to be a part of your morning. Kurt, what's going on at 3 o'clock today, Kurt?
At 3 o'clock, if you wish to listen to this broadcast, please tune in www.dkmradio.com to hear this message in its entirety. www.dkmradio.com, 3 p.m.
Good deal. And you know, we got one more piece of duty we got to do. Need you to pray us out.
Okay. Thank you, Lord, for this wonderful broadcast. And thank you, Lord, for letting us see that not everything is outward. Thank you, Lord, for letting DKM maybe let people see that it's more than the outward, that above and beyond everything, we have to seek the Lord first. Thank you, Lord, for continuing to bless us. And please, Lord, continue to open people's eyes when it comes to this coronavirus and to help people stay safe and away from each other. thank you, Lord, for whatever it is you're going to bless us with for the rest of the week, the rest of the year, and the rest of our lives. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Amen. That's a preacher right there. That's a preacher moment right there. That's a preacher moment. Listen, we're about to get out of here. It is 9:15. You're about to exit the Morning Glow. But before you go, I want you to do me two favors, if you will. One, I want you to continue to pray for us, because we're certainly praying for each and every one of you. Number two, why this is real simple. I want you to go out there, find somebody, and give them a hug, because you never know. It could be the only hug that they get, or it could very well be their last. Love you, and ain't nothing you can do about it. Now take some of this light from the Morning Glow that we shine on you, and take it out there into this wicked and cruel world that we live in, and let your light so shine. Y'all have a great day, and do me a favor, love each other, because we love you.